Welcome back to the channel. Well, we're not doing the Romulan Bird of Prey today, and the reason for that is I have to order my lights. I got to figure out the lights for that, and I have to figure out the lights for this. So I figured I would tell you about the HobbyLink International Halloween group build. We do this every year, and it always goes off well with a lot of builds, so I figured I'd show you what I'm doing. This is a 3D print from Digital Dark Pinups. It's just called Witch. I'll put the link in the description below. This way, if you're interested in this and have a 3D printer and you want to print it up, you can. The only thing that doesn't come with this print is this cauldron. I got this off a Thingiverse because I wanted a different base because I am doing lighting, and I'll put a link in the description to this 3D file also. So let me show you the parts. This is the cauldron from Thingiverse. It's a free STL file which I printed out. I actually upscaled it some because what I'm going to use this for is a base. I'm going to put some weight in the bottom, and then I'm going to use this to hide my boards for the lighting of the candle and also the flames and the bubbling effect on the other cauldron. I picked this one because of the symbol. Now I really didn't know if this was real or not, but my wife knows about this stuff and she told me this really is a symbol. It's one of two ways. It's either the waxing full and waning moon or waning full and waxing moon. I don't remember, but she told me which way it was. This actually comes with two rings. When you're printing it, the rings are the wrong way. They're facing up instead of facing down. I guess that's because when it prints upside down. And they got stuck in here and they actually broke off. So I asked my wife what she wanted to do because this build is for her and it's gonna go into her office. If she wanted me to sand these down smooth or find different rings for this. And I actually found some rings, metal ones on Amazon. So I'm gonna order those and we'll just put the little metal rings over here so the cauldron has rings on it. I'm gonna prime it, paint it, and do all that other good stuff. Now this is the base that comes with the Witch. You can see where I open this up some because a lot of times on the 3D prints, the keys are not the right size to fit the pegs on the part, so you gotta open them up or shave down the pegs on the pieces. This is not an upside down pentagram. It's actually in the pagan religion, I guess. This is the right way with the star pointing up because she's facing this way. It's not an upside down Satan pentagram. But this is the base that comes with it, and what we're going to use this for is the other cauldron, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Now basically the skull and books are here and the cauldron's over here, so I'm going to wire those up, probably cut little slits here and then fill them in. But I didn't like the base just flat like this. I wanted something nicer for it, so that's why I printed this out. Like I said before, we're going to put some weight in here. This is where we're going to hide the boards, put a little switch on the back. This way it could be turned on and off. But why I printed this out is because I wanted to put it like this, actually this way. This way the flames from the cauldron are over here and this is over here, and then we have a nice little base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add magnets in here, probably 4 of them, and then this will lock down on top. This way it doesn't go anywhere, but it'll sit nicer, and I'll show you the whole thing together once we get to that point. Here's the raven that comes with the kit. It's very nicely sculpted. It printed very well. I had no problems with it. There's some little cleanup points where it's going to be from the supports, and I have to clean some of this up where I was shaving this down so it could fit in her hat. And then over here I have to clean that up. I don't know what happened over there, but his claws are really nice. I think I just need to use a little alcohol on there. His beak is done very well. This is a really nice bird, and his wingspan is pretty big. He's about, I guess, 3 or 4 inches across, and it's a hefty little bird. This guy was printed solid. Up next is the stack of books, and it has the skull on top with the wax from the candle. I'll show you the candle in a second. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open probably here up, or if I could get it through here, I might have to open this hole up a little bit and use some putty to make it look like wax again. But we're gonna fish a wire from here straight through here if possible. We're going to put a nano or pico SMD on the bottom of the candle and light block the wax on the candle so the top flickers on here. I'm going to have fun painting this skull. As you guys know, I really like painting skulls. There are a few places the supports actually left little holes. No big deal. I'm going to throw a little putty in there, sand that down, and we'll be good to go. The books came out very nicely. One thing, if you do print this off, there are supports on the edges here. Make sure before you cure it, get all those supports off, because this is my second run on this one. I made a mistake. I missed a couple of the supports, and then when I clipped it off, it like broke the corner of the book and it didn't look good, so I had to reprint this guy. Here's the tiny little candle that we printed up in clear. The body of the candle, the wax here, we're gonna light block that, paint it white, probably with a creamy color as the wax is melting. And up top, we're gonna have the little bit of flame. Here's the peg that goes in the bottom. Most likely, we're gonna cut that off and get the SMD right up close so we could get as much light as we can coming through here so we see that flicker. And the candle just pops right into the top of his head over there. and that's where I was saying we're gonna fish the wire down. Up next is the cauldron. Hopefully you can see all the bubbles and stuff in here. We printed this one up clear on purpose because we have the flames on the side of the cauldron and the bubbles up here. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna light block all of this, then I'm gonna get some SMDs all the way up top, hopefully like maybe 3 or 4 and different colors, and have a pattern in here so it looks like it's bubbling green and yellow, and just making it look oozy and just really creepy. What we're gonna do is, if you didn't watch the last live show, we have a new board coming out called Ralph. It's Reactors, Alien, Light, and Fire. So I'm probably gonna use the Reactor in here or Alien in here. So this goes all different crazy colors and stuff like that. And then of course, we're gonna use the Fire on the side. Now the thing with that board is you can only use one effect at a time on the board. So I'm gonna end up having to use 2 of those boards in here. This way one can do the top and one can do the flame here, and I can use the one for the flame also for the candle. Next up are her legs. They come in 2 parts. She has stockings on, and then in between the, I guess, strings over here, that's where we'll paint in our flesh, or we'll paint in flesh and maybe try to put a smoke over it, make it look like her leg is showing through. And then we have her shoes. We only have a couple pinpoints on the bottom of each shoe that we have to fill in. I don't have to worry about filling in any of these holes. Those are just drain holes for printing. Again, I had to whittle these down a bit to get them into the base. There are some support marks on here, like the bottom of her leg. I'll just sand those out. Those really won't be seen because that part of her leg is on the base, but we're still gonna clean all that up and make it as pretty as possible. Next up, here's one of her arms. These are printed solid. There's no drain holes in this at all. I just have to clean up a few support marks. And again, it has the star on the front. It's not an upside down pentagram, so it has nothing to do with Satan or anything like that. And there's 2 on each side, so those will be really fun to try to paint those up. A little cleanup on the book here. And then I gotta figure out how to make these look like real pages. I don't think I'm gonna paint these. I might try to put some paper in tea or something like that and stain it, and then put some little words or something like that if I can in there. If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to use paper in here to make it look real, please put it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And here's her next arm. I'm kind of holding my hand there because the camera wanted to go blurry, but this is the hand that's holding the wand. Again, this one was printed up solid. I only have a few pinholes here that I gotta fill in and get those nice and smooth. Otherwise, the print came out really, really nice on this. Next up is her body. I ended up printing this in clear, so it's gonna be hard to see some of the detail on here. Ended up printing in clear because I ran out of gray resin, and for some reason I was having trouble printing this first print of her body. Printed it like 2 or 3 times and I kept getting ripples in her legs and stuff like that. And finally the clear one actually came out really nice. So there's a couple versions of this one. So if you guys are like naughty guys out there and like building kind of naked figures, there are 2 more that come with this set, and it's all included in the print file. One is she's topless and one is she's totally naked. I'm going with that she has the bustier on, and she also has a thong here, which you're not going to be able to see because you might see it here because of the clear print, but the bustier is nice. It has little buttons down the front, frilly up top. She has a little necklace on over here. If I could figure a way to get wire through there and pin it in, I would have her necklace light up, and I think that would be cool, but I think that would be really hard to do. On the back, again, you're really not gonna be able to see it. It's tied up in the back for her bustier, and then we have her hiney hanging out over here because she does have a thong on. Again, I was having trouble printing up her head. This is my 2nd or 3rd go-rounds with her head. I ended up only having clear, and it finally came out perfect on the last one in clear. So I just have to clean up the back here. You can see all the little support marks here. We'll sand that down nicely in between the hair and get that nice and smooth, and then we'll make sure that's looking good, and we'll paint it up. The same thing on her hat over here, and back here is where all the supports were, but we can clean that and make it look nice. I don't know if you could really see her face details in here, but they did a really good job on her face. Once this is all primed up and we have videos out, you'll definitely be able to see her better. It's actually a pretty big sculpt, and it looks really nice, and it's pretty cool. And this is where her raven comes into play. The raven actually goes up top here and gets squeezed into the hole there, and then sits there. Even without glue, it's sitting there nice and tight, and the raven comes up behind her. And now here's a photo of what the sculpt looks like when it's all together. I really don't like doing it this way, but the only way I could do it with the camera is like this. So we're gonna have a little bit of shaky cam. Here's it on the cauldron that I printed up down at the bottom. So that's gonna be the new base. This way we can hide our boards and put all our wiring in there. And this is what she's gonna look like from the side. So it's gonna be a really, really nice print. Well, it is a nice print. It's gonna be a nice figure once it's all painted up and done. And there's her raven on top. Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and checking out our 3D print of the witch for our Halloween build this year. I'm going to put this down, so give me a second. Like I said, Romulan Bird of Prey will be coming up soon again, soon as I get the lights for it and the lights for this. This you probably won't see till September or October on this build, because that'll be closer to Halloween. So you're going to be seeing more 3D prints on the channel, especially sci-fi, horror, and fantasy stuff, which is pretty cool. You know, we got the 3D printer, so we'll be doing that. If you guys like this content and you enjoy these shows, please throw a thumbs up on the video. It helps the algorithm know that you like this and it spreads it to more modelers. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. We're getting close to 4K, and we're going to have our 4K giveaway if you're interested in a 1/350 scale USS Enterprise refit. So that's pretty much it for tonight. I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure you're being good out there and take care of yourself. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.